So hello everyone. Today I have with me Shadab, who is working at Mercor as a software engineer. And Mercor is one of the fastest growing startups right now. Although it is a very small company, it has just 75 software engineers, but it's currently hiring freshers. And the compensation is in the range of $20,000 to $100K per year, which is a lot. So you can convert that to rupees. And it's completely remote, so you don't have to go to the office. So I think it's best of all the worlds. We are going to discuss in detail everything about this company and the interview experience. So for that, we have with us Shadab today. Hello, Shadab.
Hi.
So first of all, let me introduce Shadab. He has recently graduated from BITS Pilani in 2025 as a CS grad, and he got a job at Mercor off campus. Before that, he's also interned in other companies like Dover and Blaze AI and Mercor Labs. So Shadab, before we start, can you just tell what is the compensation that Mercor provides to freshers?
Yeah. So the compensation ranges from 20K to 100K US dollars. So based on your experience, your past experience, how you perform in the interview, how you perform in the assignments, it's a lot. You can negotiate as well based on that.
Can you tell a little more about Mercor, because it's not a very famous company, and although it's a very fast growing startup from what I know, but
Yeah.
can you just tell a little more?
So Mercur is actually one of the fastest growing startups currently. So it recently went from 1 million annual revenue run rate to 100 million in just 4 months. You can read that in the news as well. And it's currently valued at 2 billion. That it's a really good company. It's remote, so the work is flexible and there's not much workload. Like you can be flexible. You get a lot of time to do other stuff as well. Uh, there are 2 offsites in a year held as well, where you can get to visit other countries and meet your folks that you have only worked remotely with. And apart from that, one of the perks that I really found good is that you get to work with really smart people. So Makar has people from Stanford, MIT, Harvard. You get to work with those people in your team and you get to really learn a lot from them.
Got it. So I think average would be somewhere around 30, 40. But yeah, based on what I saw from the internet. Let's dive right into the interview experience.
Yeah.
So how many rounds are there usually?
So there are 3 rounds. The first is an AI interview round. In that, based on your resume and based on the profile you applied to, and AI takes your interview, and it's around 20 minutes long. It's like a rapid fire round where you are asked multiple questions and you are expected to respond almost immediately, um, based on your projects, based on your resume, and based on your experience. Once you're done with that, if you qualify, the AI interviewer ranks you, and if you rank among the top, let's say 3 to 4%, and then you qualify for the next round. And those who qualify for the next round, they get an assignment. So the assignment varies based on the role you applied to. For me, it was like making a desktop app. After that, there's a system design round, which is based on the profile you applied to. And then there's a background verification where they ask you to share your past recruiter's profile, past recruiter's contact. Then they contact you and ask about your work experience, how you worked, your work ethic, and in general about you, how you are as a person. And based on that, the hiring finally happens.
Got it. So I want to know, how did you come to know about this company and how did you apply, especially as a fresher, because it's not that easy. Although I know that you can directly apply through the career portal. So I'll provide the link in the description. That's one way.
I applied through a referral. The director of engineering at Mercer knew me because he was the CTO of the past startup that I worked for. Based on that, I skipped the first AI interview round and then I just went to the second round onward.
That's how you knew about the company. Okay. But yeah, you can definitely apply through the career portal. So link will be in the description. That's something you can do. So let's start with each round then. In your case, there was no AI assignment though, but can you tell how does the AI assessment go and whatever you know about it?
Yeah, so I had applied for here before as well, so I know how the AI assessment goes through. So the first round is AI assessment, which is based on your resume and the profile you applied to. So the AI asks questions in rapid succession, and you are expected to answer them almost immediately. And the camera is on. You have to speak. The AI records your voice, and based on that, it responds. It can ask for clarification. It can ask for follow-ups as well. So you're expected to be pretty thorough with your resume and your work experiences. And based on that, if you are one of the top performers in the year interview round, then you're given an assignment to complete. So that's the second round.
Okay, so it's 20 minutes long. So can you tell what kind of questions it asks? Only resume based or anything else also?
Resume plus experience based, plus kind of based on the profile you apply to, but mostly resume and experience, past experience.
So are they technical? Can you just give examples probably?
Yeah, so I made a test series platform for one of my college friend who has a startup. So it asked me how you handled notifications. Like it sends notifications whenever the user completes the test. It sends an email notification about the score and all that. So it asked me how I did that. So I said node mailer, and then it asked how you handle authentication. So it was made in Next.js. So I mentioned Next.auth, and then it asked me a little bit detail about JWT authentication. These are some of the questions that I remember.
Okay, and you said that it ranks you based like gives you a score. So do you have
Yeah.
any idea how that works? Because like it can be very subjective, I guess. So
Uh, yeah. So I think it has an internal system based on which it ranks you. So if it thinks that the answer you gave is pretty sufficient based on what it asks you, it ranks you good. So if you can just answer based on the standard answers, so it is sufficient. Like the standard answers for any question.
okay, and I guess like how well you are able to answer all the questions. If you fumble in some, then probably that's a red flag.
That's fine.
Got it. So next round is the assignment. So is it a take-home assignment? Is it do you have to do it in a time frame? Can you tell like what
Yeah.
kind of assignment it is
The
in a bit?
take-home assignment, I was given 74 hours to complete it. It's a take-home assignment, so I can tell about what I was asked to do. So I had to make a time tracking application for um, candidates who are working in a, let's say, remote environment. So the first step was to send an email from the backend to the user that we're trying to register. They'll get an email. When they click on the link, they'll be asked to create an account. So they create an account, and then they get an option to download the desktop app, the time tracking desktop app. Once they download it, they're asked to log in with the same credentials that they registered, and then they're given an option to start the timer and stop the timer, and also what task you are working on and what project. So and your manager can assign you tasks and projects, and based on that you can start the timer on whatever project and whatever task you are in, and then stop the timer. Whenever you start the timer, the desktop app records your activities, like it takes regular screenshots at 15 seconds interval, so that it can verify whether you are working or not. Your manager can check those screenshots and verify. And this was one, and it also records your IP address, so that multiple things, IP address, and I don't really remember. Yeah, just you can say IP address and take screenshots. So I was given 72 hours to complete this assignment, but I was able to do it within like 24 hours.
So what happens next? Like, is this discussed later on, or like how do they decide that this assignment is sufficient?
So they actually review each and every assignment personally. So they set so the experienced people sit through and go through each assignment and check if it matches the standard. So they check a lot of things. They check whether your coding standards are up to the mark, whether each and every requirement is properly fulfilled. They actually run the application and check.
Okay, and are you allowed to use probably AI or something? Because I don't think in 72 hours you can anyways code everything from scratch. So
Yeah, you are allowed to use AI, but make sure that it's like nothing breaks, because when we use AI, generally things break,
yeah.
and it's also supposed to be performant under load. So that shouldn't happen if you're using AI. Otherwise, it's fine.
Okay. And there's no discussion on the assignment, like whatever code you have submitted, that's it. That's the only thing they have.
Yeah, the discussion is on the system design round.
So coming to the third round, that is the system design round. So as you said, there can be some discussion based on your assignment. Although in your case that did not happen because you
Yeah,
did not have the system design round. But can you tell a little bit more about what kind of questions can be asked? Is it HLD, LLD, or whatever?
yeah, it's mostly HLD, high level design, and you can be asked a variety of questions based on the profile that they're selecting for. So while you're applying, you don't really see the profile, but internally they have profiles that they are hiring for. So based on that, you can be asked any question. So it's better to be prepared for all the standard HLD questions. Then I guess you'll be fine. That exist.
Okay, like probably a payment service and so
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Got it. Are there like any famous questions that are usually asked or something like that?
Uh, Not really. Like they change often. Like one can be payment service, as you mentioned. Then because they have an live interview platform, so maybe something like Zoom, system design of Zoom. So you can go through their platform and see how they really work, and based on that, you can like select a few questions. and prepare those.
Once the system design round happens, then what is the next step?
Yeah. Once the system design round happens, then the next step is they'll do your background verification. So they'll ask you to give contacts of your past recruiters, and then they'll get on a call with them and discuss them in detail about how you perform in their company, what was your work ethic like, how you are as a person, how you perform under pressure, all those things. And based on that, finally the offer comes.
Got it. But the part that you mentioned, like say if you were in say a famous company, like a big MNC, then how would they probably get in touch with
Yeah. So they
your?
ask you, so you can just give contact of your manager, the one who managed you while you were working there. They'll ask them.
So okay, this is like a bit different from other companies because mostly they just check that whether you worked with that company or not. They don't actually talk to anyone. But
Mhm.
yeah, in this case, that's
So while I worked on Dover, so I gave contact of my Dover manager, and he talked with him actually.
so they did contact him.
Yeah, they did contact, and I think that has a huge role as well because they said that you have really strong work ethic based on your past recruiters. So that is a really strong point to have, I suppose.
And what happens if your past recruiter does not pick up or something like that, or like past
Uh,
manager?
then they asked to give, like, you could have multiple, like one or two or three maybe companies before, right? You can give any of those, any two will be fine. If one is not working, you can give the other one, or you can give alternate contact of someone else in the company who knew you were working there, like managed you in some sort of way.
And if you're a fresher and if you have not worked before, then what would happen in that case if you know?
I'm not sure. Like your Unified Fresher would have worked at least for one internship, I suppose. You can give that.
So yeah, it's a highly competitive thing. So if you have not worked in any internship, then probably you should not, you would not be selected in Mercor. That's what I feel. But yeah, you should definitely apply either case. So coming to the last part, any specific tips for Mercor that someone should keep in mind, like if they're applying for this company specifically?
Yeah. So there's no DSA round that normally companies have. There is absolutely no DSA round, and no knowledge of DSA is tested here. So they test you based on your development skills. So because the company code base is in Python and React Next.js, I suppose that you should mention projects related to those in your resume, like mention projects related to Python and Django, and for the front end, React Next.js, and also try to incorporate AI in your projects because it's an AI-based company, and if they see AI in your workflow, then I guess it will be a big plus point.
Thank you so much, Shadab. And I'll also link Shadab's LinkedIn in the description, so you can probably send him a connection request if you want. Thank you so much for your time. I'm pretty sure this video will be helpful to a lot of people.
Thank you.